name is Grace Malenga. I am going to be your host for this evening, and on behalf of the Capital Credit Union team, the board of directors, would like to welcome you to the 68th virtual annual meeting. Well, it's the 68th annual meeting of the membership, but it is yet another virtual annual meeting. So it seems everybody has had just a smooth time registering. We haven't had any problems. I hope nobody has had problems. This is the third time we're doing this, but we're so appreciative of your time. We're appreciative of the fact that you have made time to meet with us. We're going to have a great evening. As we always say, just because the annual meeting is virtual doesn't mean it's not going to be fun. So we will try our best to make this quick, swift, but at the same time, just make it fun. So before we get into the meeting, we're just going to go through a few housekeeping rules. If you've already logged in, you will notice that your microphones are muted. I was muted as well. So upon entry, you're muted, and that's because we want to have a smooth meeting. I don't want you guys to have to hear my neighbor's dogs barking or any of that. So everybody's microphone is muted. You have the reactions button. You can give reactions. If you like something that the speakers are saying, give them some encouragement, right? Virtual meetings can be awkward. So just even for me, if you like anything I say, give me a thumbs up, give me a smiley, just don't laugh at me. But you can laugh at me. I'm the only person you're allowed to laugh at. But that participants' reactions, when you go into your participants at the bottom or at the top of your screen, you should see wherever you're doing like reactions, thumbs up, laughing at me, whatever it is, give me a heart, give me something. But there is an important button on the reactions that we're going to need when it comes to voting. And so you're going to see a green check mark in the same place where you're seeing reactions. A green check mark is for voting up, and then there is a red one with a nice little X, but please, I hope nobody uses that, but it's there as well for you to vote up and down. If that is very clear in terms of voting, this is an annual meeting, so voting is a very important aspect of it. Just give me some thumbs up. Let's see if those reactions are working. See a couple of thumbs up on the screens. Okay, all right, I see a couple of thumbs up. Awesome, awesome. You guys are a great audience. So the next item that we need to know for the meeting is that we're going to have a Q&A. When you were doing registration, you did have an opportunity to ask questions in advance. And so those questions are going to be addressed during this meeting. And so we ask that you just wait until the end. We're going to go through Q&A. And if you do have additional questions while the presentations are going on, you do have an opportunity to send in your questions as well. You could do that either through the survey, or you could send them to marketing@ccutx.org, marketing@ccutx.org. And a team member, somebody from CCU is going to respond to you within 24 to 48 hours. I'm sure somebody is waiting. When are we going to have door prizes? Yes, door prizes is one of those things that make our annual meeting exciting. It's going to be towards the end, so please stay to the end of the meeting, because only the people that are actually in the participants list at the end of the meeting are the only ones who are going to be entered into the door prizes, into the drawing. So please stay. You don't want to miss it. We have some exciting prizes this year. So please, please stay. And then afterwards, you are going to receive a survey to your emails. We really need each and every person to fill out that survey. We cannot continue doing these programs or annual meeting or anything else at CCU without listening to what you think about us, what you think about the things and the initiatives that we're doing. So please fill out the surveys. I think I have covered everything. And so without further ado, I'm going to bring onto the stage. I'm saying a stage, it's a virtual stage, Mr. Michael Jones, our chairman of the board of directors at Capital Credit Union, to preside over the meeting. Thank you. Mr. Jones, can you unmute yourself, sir?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. It is my pleasure to call this the 68th annual meeting of the membership of Capital Credit Union to order. I have been informed that we have a sufficient number of credit union members attending this meeting to meet our quorum requirements, which allows us to now conduct business under the stipulations of the credit union bylaws. The next item on the agenda before we start with other business is the invocation. And I've asked our president, Pierre CARDENAS, if he would perform that duty.
Okay, I was having a little trouble unmuting, but always my pleasure to do the invocation. Thank you, Michael. So if we'll just bow our heads as we pray. Father, we thank you so much for the opportunity to come together and to seek your wisdom and guidance in every decision that we make on how to serve our fellow man, how to do the things that honor you, and to produce good fruit from the work that we do, Lord, that everything would be done to honor you. We thank you for this time together, and we just ask you to continue to guide us in everything that we do. In the name of Jesus, we pray. Amen. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. In the unlikely event that any procedural issues are raised during this meeting, I will be appointing Jamie Land, who is the board vice chair and a respected Austin attorney, to serve as the parliamentarian for this meeting. Jamie, thank you for performing that task for us this year. With that done, the next item, of course, is the reading and approval of the minutes from our last year's meeting. As many of you who've attended these meetings in the past know, we have two options. One option is to have someone, not me, but someone else, to read all of the minutes from last year's meeting, or you have the option of approving those annual meeting minutes by a motion from the floor. Is there a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes and approve them as written? I'm sorry. Sorry for that. Has anyone made a motion to approve the minutes from last year's meeting? I didn't quite hear it.
Mary Miller has approved that motion.
All righty. Is there a second?
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any questions? Those in favor of approving the minutes from the 67th annual meeting, please vote using the participants procedure outlined by Grace at the just prior to the start of the meeting. Thank you. We'll take a couple of minutes to allow everyone to cast their vote.
Right, we have 14 so far, 15. Okay. I think everybody was trying to find that green. It's under reactions. It's actually right under the clapping and the thumbs up.
Okay, yeah. Just we'll add on another minute so people can find that opportunity to vote on the approval of the minute.
Okay. We have about 19 so far, so that's more than the majority. Okay. We have 19 out of 35.
We'll wait just about 30 more seconds, let a few more people vote.
Okay.
All right. I've been informed that a sufficient number of yes votes have approved the minutes from last year's meeting. We'll next move on with the report of the chair. I'll keep my remarks very brief. Despite the lingering effects of the pandemic, Capital Credit Union had another strong year. You'll hear some of the financial details during the treasurer's report, and you'll also hear from our president some information about some of the continued improvements coming forward for the credit union this year and beyond. But we did hit two major milestones last year that I thought were noteworthy. One, for those of you, especially if you live in the north side of Austin or in Williamson County and areas to the north, you know that we finally opened, after a 4-year effort, we finally opened the new Domain branch, which replaced our old Burnett Road branch. That branch not only helped the credit union improve its financial health, but it also gave us, for the first time, a state-of-the-art credit union with the latest technology, but with also access to the employees who continue and are crucial to providing services to them. The other major change that took place last year, took place in November rather, was the introduction of a new online banking platform. That change was also a multi-year effort that the staff and the management team have been working on for some time. That change was a direct result of the feedback we received from members, especially in the last 2 or 3 annual meetings. We heard you loud and clear about the improvements that needed to be made in the old online banking platform, and when we couldn't get the changes that we needed to make, the staff went out and found a new platform which is much more user-friendly. The early indications already that more members are using that platform and using it more frequently than they did with the older platform, and of course we always welcome your input. Those were 2 big accomplishments, but we have plenty more work to do in the next couple of years. And with that, and instead of going into more detail, I want to leave more time so that you can hear more about the other progress the credit union is making. So that includes my remarks this year for the report of the chair. And I see the next item on our agenda will be the report of the treasurer. This year, the treasurer's report will be presented by Brennan Daniels, who is our chief financial officer.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Michael mentioned, I'm the chief financial officer here at Capital Credit Union. Traditionally, our board treasurer, Mr. Kareem Harani, provides the report of the treasurer. However, he was unable to be with us this afternoon, and I'll be providing it on his behalf. Capital Credit Union ended 2021 serving just under 13,000 members, an increase of nearly 6% over 2020. Under the direction of our board and management team, Capital Credit Union continues to make strategic decisions to focus on growing our core membership while deepening our relationships with existing members. We are very proud that despite the challenges presented by COVID-19 and the Omicron variant, we increased our loan portfolio by over $20 million. Additionally, while growing our loan portfolio, we were able to maintain strong asset quality with delinquency and net charge-off ratios below that of our peers. And even with the asset growth we experienced through 2021, we continue to maintain a strong and healthy net worth and equity position. In closing, I'd like to thank you, our members, for your trust and support for allowing Capital Credit Union to be your financial institution. You can count on us to continue to make financially sound decisions to ensure that Capital Credit Union is always here for you in the future. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Pierre Cardenas for our president's report.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. What I did was put together a quick video to reflect some of the new systems that we have in place. And so we will put that video for you now and give you an idea of the success that we had last year and looking forward to next year. Welcome. Thanks for coming this evening. It's good to have you here with us for our membership annual meeting, and I hope you'll find the information valuable. 2021 was a lot more difficult year than it had been than we anticipated. We thought that COVID was over in 2020, looking forward to 2021, but we found that the COVID variants came back with a vengeance and made it just as difficult to get through the year. However, we stayed focused and steadfast in accomplishing some of the things that we accomplished in 2021 that we're very proud of and we're able to share with you this evening. While most credit unions our size had a lending to their membership at a growth of about 4% in 2021, we, your credit union, did a much better job of providing access to our membership to loans with us, having 17% loan growth, bringing our total loans outstanding to our membership $137 million. And we're very proud of that, and we hope we've made it very easy for you to do business with us, either in opening an account or getting a loan through the remote channels. We also saw about a $20 million growth in our total assets, and we are now just a hair under 200 million at the end of the year. Now, as I'm sharing with you today, we've surpassed the 200 million mark and continuing to grow as a financial institution, which is very important for us to do. We have also seen growth in our wealth management program. Our investment advisors are here to serve you, our membership, hitting over 11 million in total assets under management under our wealth management program. We're very pleased to have a CFP on board to help address any questions that any of our members might have in reference to their retirement savings or 401ks. We have a lot of expertise here at the Credit Union to serve you. Two big things that happened this year. One of them, of course, was the new online banking system that we're very proud of. Not only do you have state-of-the-art innovation in managing your finances through your phone, you can actually budget and identify how you're spending your money through your mobile phone. It's got a PFM, a personal financial management capability, and will tell you when you spent too much on groceries or you spent too much on entertainment, which is really important to know. As families, we want to make sure that we're managing our budget, and we wanted to provide that level of accessibility to you. The other thing is, we know that you have accounts elsewhere, credit cards elsewhere. There's an account aggregation capability on your mobile phone. So you can tie in any other debt that you have and include it under your new Banno online application that you're using on your phone to help you manage all your finances from just your mobile phone, which we hope you find useful. If you need help with that, come into one of our branches and let us help you. The other thing that we're really proud of is starting to put footprints out in the community in the form of a walk-up ITM. You'll see a canopy with a walk-up ITM that does depository, cashes, checks, and does everything that a teller can do. This is open 24/7, and there's also an active teller capability during open hours that you can actually speak to one of our employees through that walk-up ITM. In addition, we also placed a 24/7 smart ATM in the domain area that you can access to deposit checks or cash 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It's in a vestibule. You need to come check it out, look at it, understand how to work it. Our employees will be able to help you. And we're hoping to see more of these in different parts of the community that we can better serve you, our membership. Now, we want to continue to grow. We want to continue to be a viable financial institution that members want to be a part of and continue to grow the credit union. So we know that innovation technology is important, but we will never get away from having our friendly, smiling representatives here ready to serve you, whether on the phone or at our branch. We know there's a lot going on. There's a lot of changes happening in the industry, but we're really proud of what we've been able to accomplish. And as we say every year, the best is yet to come. Thank you so much. That is my report, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Pierre. Appreciate that old business. As indicated, we are not aware of any old business, so we'll now proceed on to new business. The next item on our agenda, just before we, is of course the report of the nominating committee. Before we introduce the chair of the committee, I wanted to make a couple of remarks about two very recent board members who've left the board. One is Maria Lozano, who served part of 2 terms on the board. She served on our Asset Liability Committee, which is a key committee that helps monitor the financial health of the credit union. She also chaired the Bylaw Review Committee. In fact, one of the reasons we're able to have this meeting today online is because of the recommendations she and the other committee members made. And they also went a long way towards helping to streamline our bylaws and modernize the timeline for appointments, because some of the old rules appeared to have been written during the days of the Pony Express. So we very much appreciate Maria's contributions to the credit union. And the other board member we want to recognize is Joel Bennett. Joel just completed 14 years of service on the board. He chaired the Employee Benefits Committee and was a strong advocate for improving benefits for our employees, who, after all, are the ones that most of you deal with when you come in for services. They're the ones that really make the credit union work. Joel also, as some of you may know, for many years was the Travis County Drug Court judge and he brought that same wisdom and temperament to his service on the board and helping us make major decisions. Joel was also, by the way, up until recently, was the board secretary. We very much appreciate Maria and Joel, and I just wanted to give you some indication of the caliber of men and women who volunteer their time to serve on the board. And also, one other person I noticed in the list of participants at today's meeting, I noticed that we're joined by Dr. Patricia Hiller. She was the board chair before me and in many ways kind of helped mentor me, and she, along with Brett Bray, kind of helped teach me how to be a good board chair. At least I hope so. So I thank them for all of them for their contributions to the credit union. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the chair of the nominating committee, Commissioner Aaron Demerson of the Texas Employment Commission, and to present to you the report of that committee for consideration by the membership today. Aaron?
For the opportunity, committee members are Stephanie Madak and David Dennis, and we're excited about the opportunity. So thank you and the board for allowing us to do that here. Thank you and the team for helping us. This year, we had a high number of applicants come through, and after a number of reviews by both David and Stephanie and I, we wanted to push forward this slate of candidates. And the slate of candidates are Colin Parrish, Jamie Lynn, Nancy Wren, and Mike Warner. Those are the 4 that we've pushed forward to the nominating committee, and we ask you guys to set up those on our behalf.
Aaron, thank you for your recommendations of those candidates for positions on the board of directors. At this point, we'll now entertain a motion regarding approval or disapproval of the election of those 3 candidates for board positions. And I'll entertain motions, and we'll need a motion and a second for that proposal.
I believe most people are muted and will not be able to make the motion. Let's see if they're typing in their motion to approve the slate of candidates. We've got a motion by Matthew Hodgson. He moves to approve the recommended slate of candidates. And Mary Miller has just seconded that, and Robert Cruz is also second.
Thank you very much for the motion and a second. Are there any questions? Hearing none, would you please vote using the procedure outlined by Grace prior to the start of the meeting on this proposal on the approval of the recommended slate of candidates? I have been informed that a majority of the members attending today's meeting have approved the motion, and these four individuals have now been elected or re-elected to terms on the board of directors. Thank you very much for your participation.
For the opportunity.
Thank you, Aaron. We always appreciate the hard work you and the committee do in screening these applicants and giving us your best advice on who could serve well on the board, and we've enjoyed the results of the people you've recommended. The next item on the agenda is a question and answer session, and I understand a number of questions were submitted prior to the start of this meeting, and PIERRE CARDENAS and the management team are going to provide some of the responses to those questions. So PIERRE, could you give us the responses to some of the questions members had?
Yes, sir. Couple of questions. One of them was, how do I win in the raffle? And unfortunately, it's just by luck. So another member was requesting for a virtual barbecue, which we are not capable of doing that yet. There were some more serious questions that came in. One of them was change counting machines in the branches. We used to have change counting machines. About 3 or 4 questions came in about that particular topic. It was back prior to COVID. We were restricted from using the machines. All coin was restricted. And so we had to remove those coin machines from the branches. Now that things are coming back to normal, per se, if we want to call this normal, the cost for servicing those machines has increased considerably. So we are looking at ways of providing that service without charging the member based on the exorbitant amount of cost that has been associated with serving those machines and the change orders for those machines. Right now, we are looking at outsourcing the service. Now, there's also cost, but how the credit union might be able to absorb those costs so our members would not have that fee assessed when they come in as a member of Capital Credit Union to get those services for free. We've had numerous conversations about internally, and right now outsourcing and absorbing that cost is something that we're currently looking at doing. So as we get more information on that, we will make sure that we notify our members once we are able to provide that service again. The other question that came up was the drive-through, and just so our members know, we did have a drive-through at the Burnett branch, and one of our intentions was to continue to have the drive-through at the location that it's at now, giving our members access to a quick, easy entry and exit point, being able to do their transactions in their vehicles. When we were negotiating the sale of our Burnett office and the purchase of the Domain branch, that's what we had requested. Unfortunately, because of the stacking of vehicles and lining up for the ITM, we were unable to put a drive-up ITM in the location. However, we were able to negotiate a walk-up ITM, giving our members access to transactions that they would normally do in front of a teller at that location. We put a canopy around it, try to add a little more security around that as is required. But our intention is to continue to expand the footprint and be able to serve our members with ITM drive-ups in different locations. We're looking at different areas where we might not have presence today and using that as a means to serve our members in different locations. We did get the technology in place, and what it also has the capability of doing is touching the screen and communicating with the teller, and the teller assisting you with the transaction, or you handling the transaction yourself, either cashing checks, depositing checks, getting cash, depositing cash. So all the functionality that you would normally see in the teller line, you would be able to use at the ITMs. We're currently working with the state downtown in the new building that's being constructed at having another one of these there. But we find this a viable solution in order to serve our members. We're really looking for those drive up opportunities as a means of making it easier for our members to handle their transactions without having to leave the vehicle. So that is on the slate. We do have the technology to provide that. And now it's a matter of finding ideal locations that many of our members frequent in order to provide a drive-up location to do the teller transactions. And those were the two last questions that we received, Mr. Chair.
Thank everyone for participating. I realize there are a lot of things competing for your time, and we appreciate you taking this hour or so to participate in the management and the running of your credit union. And so, hearing no objections, I will call this meeting adjourned, and look forward to seeing many of you hopefully next year. Thank you.